Hello everybody, I am Sparks Bricks and welcome back to another YouTube video. I know it's been a while, but I am back. I've been waiting for a new space to build and I've almost got that space set up now. Still lots of empty shelves and things to fill, but I'm at the point where I can start building in here again, so that's nice. And I've got this Battle of Alexandria MOC that I've teased a little bit on my Instagram, haven't posted too much of it. And here it is. So I'm not going to call this update 1 or part 1 or anything like that, because I'm quite far ways into this MOC already. And right off the bat you'll notice, well, one, all the use of the jumper plates, as you can see, all of those. And two is that the landscape itself is very dull and boring, and that is because I want the troops to really stand out on this MOC. I would love to have a good bit of Napoleonic era troops. And I've got one unit on the battlefield already. These are some British troops marching in using the road which goes all the way across the battlefield. And of course we'll have the British troops on this side right here, and the French troops on this side occupying these Roman ruins which is on the battlefield. And I'm going to give you a little bit more information about this MOC, but before I get into that, let's talk a little bit about the battle itself. And to do that, I'm going to put on a time lapse so you can watch some of this progress being made, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the battle. So let's get right into that. So a little more information on the Battle of Alexandria. It is actually 3 separate battles fought between the British and the French troops in Egypt in March 1801, and this is shortly after Napoleon left to go back to France, so Napoleon was not in charge of the French troops. The battle took off when the British launched an amphibious landing against a fortified French position on the 8th of March, which resulted in the French falling back to another position. And they fell back towards the Roman camp or Roman ruins and some hills and artillery and such. So a few days later, on the 13th, the French launched a counterattack on the British, and the British troops were marching up, and the 90th and the 92nd Regiment of Foot were actually in front of the rest of all the other British forces. And so they took the brunt of this attack. They took the cavalry. The French launched a cavalry attack against them, and they fought hard against that. And the 92nd actually took a little group of cannons by themselves and waited while waiting for the rest of the British troops to come back. And that is the part of this battle that I am kind of portraying in this MOC right here. You can see the Roman ruins after the 90th and the 92nd defeated the French. They pushed and they took the Roman ruins along with the rest of the army and pushed the French back. So after that, the British kind of had a footing in the Roman camp and the hills surrounding it, and the French marched down from the heights of Necropolis to attack the exposed British troops. During this battle, the 28th Foot held the Roman ruins from both frontal and rear attacks from the French. And the French forces eventually started falling back towards Necropolis, and that is the end of the Battle of Alexandria. So I hope that kind of helps clear up some history about this battle. I just wanted to include a quick little thing in here so you can kind of get an idea of what exactly I'm building. But alright, let's take a closer look at this MOC. Alright, so I hope that gave a good enough little bit of history about the battle that I'm building. And I am building the second battle when I'm going to have the 90th Regiment of Foot over here, and I'm going to have the 92nd Highlanders Regiment of Foot over here. They are going to be coming out of this dry canal bed, and they are going to be taking these French cannons right here. And these are not my cannon designs. I've seen these before, but this is my little ammo cart design, and I'm really quite proud of it. Really like that. So you can eventually, I'm going to make it where you can hook the cannons up to that and hook those up to horses, so you can actually transport them. But that is kind of where the British troops are going to be. And of course you're going to have this British column marching to support the 90th and the 92nd Regiment of Foot. And I might have the British general and some cannons set up on this hill right here. All these little sticks with these bushes on top of them, they're actually going to be palm trees. So you can kind of see how I'm doing it right there. I just need some palm leaves, and I got to finish those off. There's going to be quite a few. Might add some more over here. But I do have this main road going through the very middle of the battlefield to kind of break it up a little bit, along with this canal that ends very shortly right here. Along with all that, I do want to put this black frame around it. I saw Solid Brick Studios, his YouTube channel, and his Battle of Geonosis MOC. He included this kind of design for a frame going around it, and I really liked it, so I'm including that in this. It really makes this just highlight, kind of boxes it all in. And I needed to go up this high since I do have this canal which kind of drops down. So there is a good bit of variation in the landscape itself. If you can kind of see that, there are some flatter parts, and that's where the troops are going to be, because it's kind of hard to position a bunch of minifigures on not flat ground. But another thing a lot of people will point out is the amount of these jumper plates that I have all over the MOC, and it is a lot of them. But I think it looks really cool, especially when I'm going to add more just regular tiles to kind of cover that up. And once all the palm trees and the plants and the figures get on it, it's not going to be as noticeable. But it does give a really cool look from afar. It makes it look very much like a desert landscape. Another thing I want to talk about is these Roman ruins right here. So they're not very big. I just kind of wanted to include them in this MOC, and you can kind of see it's not all that much, but it's enough to put some French troops inside of it and maybe a few cannons on the outside. And so we have all the pillars and such right there. And I think that is a pretty good overview of the MOC so far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off all the landscape and all the palm trees and such, and I'm going to probably pack this thing away for a while I build up a army of troops, because man, I don't really have any. But it's going to take some time to get all the troops I want, and while I do that, I'm probably going to start working on the castle again, which I am very excited to start doing now that I have this whole new space set up. And so I can start working on that. But I'm going to finish off the landscape first, because this all breaks apart. I forgot to show this. There goes that cannon. But it all breaks apart in these little sections just like this, and will fit back together. If I can do this with one hand. There we go. So it all breaks apart. It is 2 by 3 gray base plates, so 48 by 48 base plates. You can do the math of how many studs wide and long that is. But it does break apart really easy and fits in a box, so I'll probably just store it up while I work on building the army. I'm hoping to have 120 troops in total on this MOC, or maybe a little more, 180, around 180. So I want to have 90 on each side, so three regiments of 30. So I'm going to have 1, 2, and 3, and then 3 units of French troops, so 30 units in each. Or 30 troops in each unit, sorry. And there's another view of the British. The bayonets are from Brick Forge. And the backpacks, that is not my design. Gary Brooks, who is another Napoleonic builder, he used something like this, and I really think it works a lot better than the actual Lego backpacks. But yeah, I think that is going to be it for this video, and I will update you guys again when I get all the landscape done. This is going to be a pretty short series, so I'll be back and I'll see you guys in the next video.